Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to the Fanatic Forum. I am your fanatic and host, George Bueller. And of course, I could not be doing this show here without my brother from another mother, the Link Master himself, Seth Manhammer. Good to see you, brother.
What's up, sir? Sorry, it's like as soon as like the camera comes on me, Moxley's like, "Oh shit," and just jumps up and so I'm thinking, like, oh, it's like, is he now camera shy all of a sudden? No, he's getting more comfortable with his bone. So,
Oh, good.
Yeah. No, and tonight I'm the Link Master. You know why, George? You know why?
Why?
Because this is like, remember, like the past 2 weeks in a row, I've been like, George, can you send me the link again? Because I'm a big dum dum and I deleted it. And because, like, as opposed to like Smokes and Road Beers, where I get the link 10 minutes in advance, most of the time, which is actually, like, honestly, like, it's better for me so that it's like I know that it's there, like, when I'm going to use it. Because that's like, it's like I have to keep, like, okay, I have to keep this link, I have to keep this email. I meticulously clean my email. And yeah, it's like I have to make sure that it's like I don't accidentally swipe on the wrong thing, because you know how Google is stupid sometimes.
Absolutely.
And sets their mailbox up like all horse. Anyway, I'm sorry. Nobody wanted to listen to me bitch and ramble about my email. So
No, you're good though. Well, it explains whether you're the Lake Master, and because I always try to send stuff out early, and then just in preparation for Free Comic Book Day tomorrow. Which, by the way, tomorrow, folks, even I know in the Kentuckiana area, tomorrow's Kentucky Derby. But more importantly, nationally, it is Free Comic Book Day, the most wonderful day for comic book fans of the year. And we'll talk about my stack this year. But yeah, so that's tomorrow. So we're very excited, collaborating comics, because also technically Free Comic Book Day is our birthday. Even though our birthday is on the 5th for when we officially opened, we're celebrating on the 3rd and the 4th technically, because we have the sale on Saturday and Sunday, and the free comics will be available. But yeah, we won't be open on our actual birthday because that's Monday. We're not
open. Right. Yeah. So now, how long have you guys been open now? How many years?
This is our 4th year now.
Okay. Yeah. And you've been there since day one, haven't you? Like,
no, not quite. So basically they were in our local mall, the Elizabethtown Mall. They were in there for about 9 months, and then they moved to the downtown location where we currently are. And I started there. Let's see, they opened in May of 2021, and I was there basically in March of 22. So yeah, so I've basically been there since March of 22. So
okay, yeah. I know you were there on the first day or the opening of the Shepherdsville store, right? Like,
yeah, I was the Shepherdsville store.
I was okay, because I was I was gonna say I went to that one. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just there just to help Clinton out. So just his
right.
And of course, and our Shepherdsville store as well. Thank you for the nice plug there. Is also celebrating Free Comic Book Day. So your boy Dash Lee Dalton is going to have his freebies out there, and he posted on Facebook. I think he's got some other, all of our free comic books and all the new stuff for this year, and also some stuff from Superman Day earlier in the year as well. But he's got some other Free Comic Book Day books from previous years too. So he's got all kinds of cool stuff. So anyway.
Free Comic Book Day is always a lot of fun. It's just it's kind of our little holiday. One thing that I did see on Reddit though that I wanted to ask you. So with Diamond basically going kaput. How's that going to work with Free Comic Book Day going forward? I know some distributors still work with people who aren't Diamond and still participate that way, but yeah.
Well, here's the thing that no one wants to talk about right now, and here's the honest truth. So Alliance is the company right now that I think has got the purchase for. So Alliance or no, it wasn't Alliance. Alliance had the purchase of Diamond, and then some other stuff went on in bankruptcy court, and they ended up winning the bid. And then a week and a half later, they said, "Nah, we're good. We don't want it." So somebody else got them. But right now, one of the properties that has not been purchased, is not part of the deal, is Free Comic Book Day. So as of right now, no one's purchased the property for 2026 and beyond. So this may be the last free comic book day, possibly. Hope not.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's kind of the truth right now. That everybody that's been paying attention to the diamond sale, has been kind of looking at it. It's like, okay, well, they bought the gaming stuff, they bought the toys, the Diamond Select stuff. Obviously they bought the distribution. They got this thing. Where's free comic book day?
Yeah.
Didn't get that, huh?
Because I mean, free comic book day is, I mean, it's a huge loss, right? Like,
it is.
it really, yeah.
It basically it's kind of like Black Friday basically for comic book shops, because you come in, basically if you're a regular attendee, you're going to be paying attention because there's going to be some upcoming cool stuff for the next year and beyond for some of your favorite titles or premiering books or whatever else. But also for folks who don't normally come into comic book shops, it's a reason to come in. Oh, hey, you got some free stuff. Then maybe while you're there, you see some toys, you see another comic book, maybe something you grew up with, or wherever else. So you spend a little money while you're there too. And so, yeah, it's a big, it's a big cash flow for your local comic shop. So you should support it. And there you go. But yeah, so if this is I don't think this is going to be the last one, but maybe 2026 gets a miss. I don't know. So.
Yeah,
we'll see how it develops, but right now no one's bought free comic book day. So
wow, dang, that would be very, very, that would be very, very sad. Yeah, and unfortunate if that goes away, because I know a lot of places, a lot of cool comics came from free comic book day too. Like, a lot of stuff that I'd never look at before, and it's like, oh man, I remember my friend Clarice. I'd take her kid to the comic book shops on free comic book day, and he was just loving it, because it was just like, he was getting all these stories. Like, oh man, the Dark Horse did a Hellboy free comic book day, I think in 2008 or 2009, something like that. And oh man, he read that thing to tatters. And it was just some like reprint like issue of Seed of Destruction, right? Like,
I remember that. Yep. That's what I was going to ask. It was a number one Seed of Destruction. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was kind of nothing to us. It's like, they've given that away in Hellboy trade paperbacks before, but it's like, that was like his most prized possession until it fell apart at the Staples. And like a comic book should, really, like, it was adorable. But he enjoyed that. Yeah, it was a great memory for him, I'm sure.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't think this is going to be the last one, but like I said, 2026 it may be kind of one of those things, like it may take a year or so off and then come back, but someone does purchase this, because like I said, it's such a known property. It's it's the friggin' holiday for comic book shops and fans and wherever else. Like, it's not going to go away entirely, or you never know. There may be some kind of underground movement where a lot of the publishers and distributors want to bring it back, and they bring it back in their own way, where it's like, like, we don't have the official free comic book day, but Marvel's like, oh, here's a couple of things, or DC's got something, or something like that. So
that would be cool if it happened, man. Like, almost grassroots like that. That would be so cool.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I mean, kind of, the whole blowback kind of against Diamond during the pandemic, when they was like, oh, we're going to shut down for a month or so, and and Marvel and DC are like, the F you are. We're going to go find some other distributor that won't shut down. Deuces. It's and then Diamond's like, what? So, and that's been kind of the beginning of the end. So, yeah, but anywho, but enough of that stuff here, because I got something specific I want to talk about to celebrate my boy over here. Because last night on his podcast, Smokes and Road Beers, which is Thursday evenings, 6:30 Eastern on Facebook and Rumble, they had talked about a subject that people should talk about, but people don't want to talk about. And it was kind of multifaceted, but we're talking a lot about men's mental health, the treatment of men in society, kind of like the given things, the stereotypes, the whatever else. But here's some facts that men have to deal with prison sentences, versus women, death row, amounts of suicides, just amount of mental health that men need to talk about, or maybe talk about their feelings, what's going on in their lives that they don't, or afraid to, or they're mocked for doing so. So I mean, it was an extremely multifaceted conversation here. So I'm going to give you guys the link here. This is the Facebook link here for our Facebook folks here. So, and then also want to put up for our YouTube folks here. So right here in the comments, I put up the link here for, this is the Facebook link for last night's episode for Smokes and Road Beer. So I encourage all of our Fanatic Forum fans to check out this episode. If you've never watched a Smokes and Road Beers episode, this is one to watch here. I'm proud of you guys for this episode. It's a really, really good one. A difficult subject to talk about, but you all danced around the landmine very well without actually stepping on the switch. So well done.
Well, thank you. I really do appreciate that, and that means a lot, because Bill and I had been talking about something like this for a little bit, and it's like how to approach it and how to handle it. And there's so many different ways that like you said, that you got to dance around that a landmine with it. And I think it's like ultimately we tried to express that we weren't trying to compete in any kind of way with what anything that we were saying with. We just wanted to be heard, and
right.
We wanted to be validated.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and that was the thing. And it's like, and we had some great discussion, we had some great participation in the comments, it was an episode I was really proud to be a part of, and to have that, being able to have that discussion with those guys at that time, and thank you for being able to listen to it later, and to appreciate it too. I really do appreciate that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I really wanted to tune in live because I saw the episode title of "We Are Not the Enemy." I'm like, and basically Bill had teased that it was going to be a provocative episode. I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
He's good with the sensational stuff. I do like it. Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
Basically, Bill and I have spent a lot of time in the media, so it's like we know how to promote stuff.
Yeah.
We really want to promote things. So there you go. So I was curious what the episode's out, but basically by the time I had the shop closed, I had to run some errands. After I closed the shop, before I even got home, I couldn't tune in live, but by the time you all had wrapped up, I was able to listen in the car on the way home. So I had almost like, damn, I was just really proud of you guys on this one here. So yeah.
Well, thank you again. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, it means a lot. It really does. Because it's like, I think there's a lot of stuff that needed to be said, that was said last night. And
I agree.
It was a very validating experience too. So
yeah, and like you guys said at the top, and like you just said now, it's like it wasn't a condemnation of of women or of anybody. It was just kind of like, hey, it's like you guys have your struggles, but men don't talk about our struggles enough, and we'd like to do that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And that's exactly what that was. And it's like, you guys did that really well. I liked, I appreciated the sensitivity as well. It's like, like you said, you're not competing with, it's like, you guys have your stuff that's going on too, but hey, we do too. But guess what? We don't talk about it enough.
Yeah.
So it's a really good episode. So I encourage you guys. Link there's in the comments, folks. So check out that episode. And speaking of comments, man, you're welcome, brother. Yeah. And speaking of comments here, our boy V in there.
Hey! Yes,
sir.
Yes. All right. Yeah. Go ahead and tee the ball up there, George.
Oh yeah. So actually, V had a question. Well, actually, a couple things here. I got to get a couple more comments here before we get the tee the ball up here. A birthday celebration for that lasts for 3 days. Yeah, well, it'll be 2 days because the sales at Clobberin and the free comic book availability will be able to Saturday and Sunday. So if you guys can stop by, there you go. And Mr. Ron James, there's the boys. TGIF. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bradley's up here. Hello, sir. Yeah, it's just last free comic book day. WTF? Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah, man, I feel the same way, Bradley. I really do.
I have enough hope for the industry. I've seen a lot of change in my lifetime. It's like like I said, we may skip a year, but it's not over.
Yeah,
but you never know. Like I said, this whole Diamond thing has been there's been more drama in this Diamond bankruptcy sale than in any average wrestling show. So I'm just saying. If you're sticking
Oh
close to the
yeah.
storyline, this is the only real world story I'm sticking close to right now. I know, like, we've had a pope die, we got a president that has set America on fire. Everybody hates us. There's tariffs. You know, everybody I think is going to move to Canada. I don't know what's going on in the real world, but I'm paying attention to Diamond.
But right, yeah, Diamond. No, dude, I feel you, man.
Yeah, Diamond has my
Yeah.
focus right now. Anywho, Bradley says that kid has good taste because Hellboy is awesome. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
100%. Yes. Okay, so teeing up here, sir. So yes, V had texted me earlier and said that you had made a reference talking about Elder Scrolls Oblivion and something about horse armor. But you had a tangent you were going to go on about, and he wanted to ask you what this tangent was. He was very interested to hear what this is about.
Okay. So maybe tangent is too strong of a word, but I'm trying to. So I'm pulling it up right now, right? Specifically, the deluxe edition content, right? Which people are complaining is horse armor, right? Which it technically is, right? Okay. Ironically, the Pope died as the Oblivion remaster. Yeah.
Coincidence?
Yeah. So okay, to give folks a little background, the Elder Scrolls Oblivion, when it released, it was huge success. You know, everybody was like, you know, if you're into that game, you were into that game. I mean, there's like some people that just aren't into Bethesda games. I don't believe you're a guy that's into Bethesda games, are you?
I've played the Elder Scrolls 5.
Yeah.
Skyrim, and I love the open world thing. I loved all the questing. Combat sucked.
Okay. And no, dude, that's totally fair.
Yeah, so that's what drove me away from the game. Just because, like, anytime something wanted to fight me, wanted to fight them, like, okay, draw your sword out.
Yeah, it was floaty. You know, I can feel that. There's a lot of like I think coming from a PC game or like or coming out as a PC game originally.
Yeah,
like you have to put kind of some imagination behind it to a certain extent, and yeah. So it's like sometimes it's like wrestling. You either get it or you don't. But
I dig that.
yeah, but anyway, so I've been waiting a week for this. Oh man.
Literally.
So Bethesda releases like 2 expansions, Knights of the Nine and the Shivering Isles, right? And you know, they're like substantial expansions for Oblivion, you know, like they add like, you know, set like I think like 40, 50 hours a piece. It's been a while since I did it, right? Or since I've been there. But so like later on they start releasing these smaller DLCs, and one of them people absolutely lose their shit over is the horse armor. And the horse armor is just like all it is just cosmetic armor for your horse that you pay $5 for, right?
Okay.
And it is largely considered the first time that like a microtransaction was really considered successful, right? Because it's like, I mean, people bought it, right? People made fun of it, but people bought it.
Sure.
You know, because or else like they wouldn't have kept like, you know, there's still right now there's the Skyrim, you know, content store, you know, for the single player game. So carrying to Skyrim, right? Skyrim releases with the original edition. Skyrim comes out then with the special edition and the legendary edition with the DLCs and all that shit, right? So then again, and of course Bethesda keeps re-releasing different versions of Skyrim all the time, right? So there's that joke. Well, the anniversary edition comes out, right?
Yeah.
And it's got like the Creators Club content. One of the content pieces that you can download if you get this version of Skyrim is the horse armor from Oblivion, right? But but it is a free download. Like as part of that, you know, like bundle. Like you are not just buying that as horse armor, but it's like the way it's presented is like a purchase in the store, but it's a free purchase. So it's Bethesda fucking trolling you, right? So like this going to Oblivion Remastered, right? The DLC that you get for this, hang on, I'm scrolling into it too to make sure that I'm getting this right. You get like 2 extra quests, you get some extra weapons and horse armor. 2 different sets of horse armor. So this is Bethesda still just kind of sticking it to you, just ever so, Not now, it's like I kind of feel like this is a little more substantial because it's like we're talking like this is DLC quests and then like extra weapons and shit, right? So, it's like the horse armor is almost kind of like that free add-on, is
Oh,
what I'm saying. So it's like I'm still and to begin with, we're also talking about a badass remaster of this game for $50 too.
okay.
The value proposition alone, just for the standard edition for $50 is killer. So, if you wanted to, get the rest of the stuff, which, I'm actually kind of considering upgrading to it myself. I have not yet. I have not. I've still just been happy with the experience that I've had. But it is mighty tempting sometimes. But yeah,
Oh,
so it's like this time the horse armor to me is still just kind of them trolling, and I don't necessarily think that it's malicious on their part, but I think it's just them being self-aware.
oh,
Yeah.
gosh, I love it. All this over horse armor.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
V. I don't. I'll tease another one for you later. All right. Uh,
oh,
this is what. One day I will go on the tirade about why I think that Metal Gear Solid 2 was Hideo Kojima's giant middle finger to his own fans.
ooh,
Yeah.
I get that reference. Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. If
yes.
you play Metal Gear, you might understand some people's frustration with it. Yeah.
Literally this evening, when I went to my local liquor store to pick up my frosty adult beverages, I was having a conversation because today when I was at the shop, I was in my Snake Plissken t-shirt, and
Uh-huh.
that got us talking about Metal Gear.
Okay.
So I was literally having a conversation about how, like, explaining to someone who's never played the Metal Gear series, explaining the whole plot of everything would take a very long time. Like, it's not an easy conversation to have.
Right. Right.
Yeah, because basically you've got games that contradict each other, and there's this game's real, this game's not real.
Yeah, this game's not real. This game is real. Yeah, you've got characters who may not be other characters, but they look and sound exactly the same with the same name. And
Mhm. Yep.
yeah, oh my,
Yep.
yeah, it's
Yep. Yep.
man.
Yep.
I love the Metal Gear franchise, man, but sometimes, man, like,
Sometimes.
ugh,
Let's see. Bradley's got a couple of comments here. The gates of
the gates
oblivion
of
have opened,
oblivion have been opened.
and he says the
The
Dragon Claw
Dragon
quest.
Claw quests, yeah,
I don't, is this
yeah,
another
George.
RPG?
Yeah, George doesn't know anything about the Oblivion stuff or the
I don't know anything about Oblivion. I gave
yeah.
Skyrim about 2.5, maybe 3 hours of my time before I'm going back to Red Dead.
Okay, I think if you ever give Fallout 4 a shot, the combat in that is a little more tighter, and it's more shooter oriented, and you
I've
may dig that some more.
I've heard that, yeah, because I played because I've always wanted to check out the Fallout games, and I checked out 3, and again, great open world building, all that kind of stuff. Love the questing. Combat was horrible. I really wanted to check out 76 because it takes place in West Virginia, and Mothman was involved, and Michelle is from West Virginia. And I was like, oh, this would be fun for her to see West Virginia stuff. But then everybody was saying this game is horrible. Do not buy it. It's like, okay, I don't. So I haven't checked out yet, but then I kept hearing Fallout 4 is worth checking out. So yeah,
Yeah,
I got 4. I know.
yeah.
I know.
And, now I will actually defend 76 now a little bit.
Oh,
It's like pro tip: if you ever get the free trial of Amazon Prime, check your Prime Gaming tab because then they give you free codes for GOG and Xbox sometimes. And so you get free stuff. But
okay.
what game were we talking about again? I'm sorry, I totally drew a freaking blank.
76.
Oh
Fallout
yeah,
76.
Fall, yeah. So yeah, right when the first season of Fallout came out, they gave or that was when my free trial landed, and they were giving out free copies of Fallout 76 for PC and Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So I snagged both of them and actually played it. Now it's more of like there's a it's not quite your typical Fallout game where it's like it's more you have to go find the story on your own and make it. and not necessarily like there's like a main quest, but it can be buried really quick, in all the stuff or in all the minutia that's going on, because it still wants you to like collect things and build a base and all that stuff. So, but
Okay.
it may not be your jam, but it's not a bad game at the moment or anymore per se. But
Well, see, I love the lore of Fallout. That's the thing. I love the
Yeah.
lore. I love the storyline. The show is great. Can't wait for season 2. So,
Oh yeah, no, yeah. Oh man, we need to do a special about the show in the fall. We should do a Fallout special episode one day.
There you go.
Yeah.
We'll do take 2. We'll do a rewatch of season 1, and then we'll do a discussion. I like that.
Bingo.
Yep. Okay. More comments here. Bradley says, "You have no idea how many times I tried to mod Skyrim on Xbox and got fed up because a mod didn't load right. Skyrim is hard to enjoy now."
Man, oh no, I feel you, because I'd try and mess around with a little mod on the Xbox Skyrim from time to time, and it was cool, but like I ideally, like, if okay, this is gonna sound terrible, but like if I could make like my perfect fantasy world would be to make everything look like the movie Heavy Metal, right? Yeah. And it's like, there you can get Skyrim mods to make it all look weird and everything,
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, they're there, but actually I just kind of go back to vanilla Skyrim more often than not. I am one of those weirdos that plays vanilla. And yeah.
Like vanilla Skyrim, as in like like a tribute to like Vanilla Sky, Aubrey Los Ojos kind of thing, or what?
No. Like, well, it's the anniversary edition, but it's like no mods or anything, just whatever version. Yeah.
I was like, is everybody Tom Cruise and you're being haunted by Cameron Diaz?
Sorry. Okay, so as far as like Skyrim terminology is concerned, like if you're a player of Skyrim, like vanilla Skyrim players don't play with mods. And then there's like the modded Skyrim people and then there are some modded like people who play with mods that cannot fathom the idea of anybody playing the game with dedicated mods, but yeah, that goes back to the whole idea of like the game coming back from a PC origin and needing a little extra imagination behind it. Because like, dude, if you really get into the Elder Scrolls lore, man, that shit gets weird and that shit gets deep. And
I bet, I bet.
Like, okay, so like just case in point, like if you're on Tamriel, right, and you look up into the sky and you see the 2 moons, right, that are over there, right? What those 2 moons actually are the carcasses of dead gods after their epic battle, but you just can't perceive it as what it actually is. So you and everyone else just see it as 2 moons in the sky. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. Okay, I dig that. More comments here. Martin,
what's up? Almost punctual. Buenos noches. Oh, Buenos noches, Desperados. Love it.
You know what? That's the first time I've been called a Desperado. I like it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Oh, and he's saying that. He's saying B2V for he's waiting all week for this. So, appreciate that, man.
Thank you, guys.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Awesome. Yes.
It said basically, V says
thank you.
Thank you. Worth it.
Yes.
And greetings to Martin down under there. Yeah. So, I actually agree with Seth there. I thought the same when it came out. So there you go.
Yes. Thank you.
You can't explain Metal Gear Solid. You just can't. It's like a disease.
Yeah. That's actually that's a damn good point. And I'm actually still angry that I have not been able to experience Metal Gear Solid 4. I would like. I've never owned a PS3. Yeah.
I stopped after I never had a 3, but I went from 2 to 4. So basically, I've never played anything that went beyond 2. So I just kind of I think 2 Metal Gear Solid 2 may have been my cutoff. I'm like, I'm good. I'll just go back to the original, and that was awesome. And maybe I'll go back to the Nintendo ones or Snake's Revenge. Sure, okay, but no.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I got I remember I played the hell out of the first Metal Gear game on the PlayStation, right?
Oh yeah,
and and then of course the first Nintendo game. I never played the second Nintendo game, but I'm glad I didn't, because I heard I know it wasn't really a true sequel, but
it wasn't a true sequel, but it was a better. In the mechanics of the game work better than in the original Metal Gear. So I always like Snake's Revenge as a playable game better, even though it's against the mythology.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually that brings me up to a second possible video game related rant that I could go on at some point.
You started with one, you created two. V, you've made a monster, sir.
Yeah, remind me of these later, V. Remind me of these later.
He will. He's a very good memory. He will.
Good. Because I'm gonna actually knock Hideo Kojima a little bit and say that necessarily he does not make hit video games. And he is not the auteur that we give him credit for either. I actually might do an effed up history on Hideo Kojima one day. I might just make it do a full thing.
And Martin's also expressing his frustration. No, it turned into pure rage, and I turned to destruction mode. Metal Gear did cost me about 50 controllers, estimated, and a TV.
Dude, some of that shit was hard, right? Like if you didn't know the Psycho Mantis trick of like swapping controllers or like. Or doing some other nonsense.
That was dirty. That was dirty is what that was. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna do a Metal Gear Solid episode. That's all it is. We're gonna just express our frustrations. It's gonna be group therapy for everybody who's played a Metal Gear. So all your friends who have frustration with Metal Gear, tell them to keep an eye out for this episode coming up. Seth's gonna do his effed up history. We're gonna
It'll be the Kojima Konami special. Oh man. We're going to talk about how he peaked at Snatcher. Wasn't Metal Gear about a giant robot? Yes, it was originally about a giant robot.
Yep.
Yeah. But at some point, it stopped being about a giant robot.
Yeah, it says, don't defend nothing, never just stand your ground and fall if inevitable. War never
changes.
I love that. So my green shirt, this is my Patty's Pub shirt, by the way, here, brings up a question. Why the heck they choose Kermit as the frog's name in 189 countries, but in Mexico it's called Renee? That's a tremendous question, Martin. I forgot about that. Yeah, because basically, most of the other Muppets characters are the same, but in Mexico, I don't know what's wrong with Kermit. You would know better than I would because you live in Mexico. So that is a really good question. We need to get the research department on that one.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. Snake Eater was arguably the best one. You have to check it out. Okay. Well, there you go. I have to check out Snake Eater then.
That was the third one, right? Snake Eater.
Yes. And V says he's taking notes.
Taking notes, nice. Yes.
Yes. He's very. V has helped me out many times during my live streams on Whatnot, being my administrative assistant for keeping track of my requests and stuff like that. So yes, he's very good at taking notes.
Sweet. Yes.
Thank you for your visit. Please press the button to rant here. A Fallout and my Metal Gear Solid.
Oh man, yeah.
Hola, Renee the Frog here.
Man, okay. So, since we're talking about Kermit the Frog here, I have to tell you all about this horrible piece of performance art that I know exists, and since I know that it exists, y'all know that it exists, and let me just say that it is NC-17. What I'm about to mention here. Oh, do you know exactly what I'm talking about?
Please proceed, but I believe I do.
A performance artist, a female performance artist, painted herself green to look like Kermit the Frog and was sitting on a bench.
I don't know about this one.
Oh yeah, and so like she's just sitting there like she's the puppet, right? Like So then her assistant, dressed as Jim Henson, comes out, and how can I
proceeds to stick her arm in his arm in an orifice of hers, and that's how.
Yeah, and then she starts singing "It's Not Easy Being Green," and yeah, and I mean it's on video, and I mean it's.
I love this world. There's sometimes I hate it, but there's other times I love it, and that's one of the things making me love it.
NBC, the more you know gift. Do.
Oh, here we go. Martin's got a great comment here. Want to see Kermit Uncle Kane? Meet
Meet
the
the
Feebles.
Feebles.
Yes,
Oh
sir.
shit,
Here,
yeah.
the gentleman who have brought you the remake of King Kong, The Lord of the Rings. His first film was basically The Muppets on Crack, and it was weird and outstanding here.
Dude,
Oh.
Peter.
Damn God.
I'm sorry, Bradley. I'm sorry.
Uh,
It's traumatizing, and it was like the video from The Ring. I had to expunge it from my head into y'all's.
Oh,
so
well,
that
thanks. Appreciate it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So someday you'll tell. Oh man, be glad that I don't tell you never mind. Or I get,
Go back to Metal Gear Solid here. V says he agrees with you. Kojima isn't a one-man army; it's a team.
yeah. Kojima needs he needs reined in. Because part of his deal, one of his falling out with Konami was he spent somewhere in the neighborhood of $3 million to license a song that he never used, and he would do shit like that all the time. Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah, because it wasn't he. Didn't he do Death Standing? Is that him too?
Death Stranding, yeah.
Or Stranding?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's him as an indie developer now. Technically he is an independent developer, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But
right.
I've not played that one, admittedly. But yeah, anyway.
I have not either. But I've seen a lot of the footage, and you got Norman Reedus, and you're carrying around a baby fetus or something.
Yeah, I know Conan O'Brien's in it because I watched the
Yes.
Gamer stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Conan O'Brien's in that game, and he's in Halo 3. He and Andy are in Halo 3, by the way.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
excuse me.
Oh, yeah. Bar says, son, why you freak like that? I met the Feebles when I was 12 and you were on a cosmetic holiday, Mom. Yeah. I discovered Meet the Feeble. Basically, I kind of went backwards because my first Peter Jackson movie was The Frighteners. And then I went back and saw Dead Alive. And I was like, oh, this is crazy. I love it. And then somebody's like, oh, you need to check out Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles. And so I found Bad Taste first and watched that one. So I went backwards in continuity for Peter Jackson. So before Lord of the Rings, the last movie I saw was Meet the Feebles.
See, The Frighteners was my first Peter Jackson movie too.
Yeah.
And if you have not seen The Frighteners, check it out. Oh man, Michael J. Fox is amazing in that movie. It's one of my favorite movies ever. But,
yes. I'm sorry. Bradley's correcting me, and yeah, I forgot. Yes, he's correct. Bad Taste is first, then Meet the Feebles. So I kind of did a flip flop. Yes, he is correct.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, Bad Taste was his first movie.
To turn them into fast food. And,
Oh yeah, I love Bad Taste. That's one of his I've revisited more than a couple of times of his early stuff.
I'm going to be honest. I've only seen one of those, and I can't remember which one it was.
So Bad Taste is the one where it starts off. Peter Jackson's one of the lead characters in the movie. He's very young in the movie. He suffers a head injury, and the rest of the movie, he's trying to keep his brain in his head from falling out. There's aliens who are essentially trying to take over the world, and so they're kind of in hiding. But when they see the regular stuff, they have these giant, weird-looking heads, and they have big butts, and their butts are always sticking out from their clothing. So you see they're big. So they just look goofy and weird. So basically, it's us.
But against, see, it's it's I know, I'm not. Yeah, I just keep juxtaposing. I know that I see cover art in my head that I think is for Bad Taste, but it might also be for Meet the Feebles. But then there's also another movie that I keep thinking from that's a weird 90s comedy.
That's Dead Alive. That's basically the zombie grandmother.
Yeah, no, I have Dead Alive. Yeah, Dead Alive I'm cool with. I got that on the shelf. But yeah. Anyway, we'll do a Peter Jackson episode later. But
exactly. Yeah. Bradley says Dead Alive. Yeah, Dead Alive is definitely
Dead Alive is great too.
Oh, so Martin saw in the early 90s here.
Okay, yeah.
Bad Taste is a classic, definitely here. Dead Alive is one of his other favorite, one of Bradley's favorite zombie flicks next to Zombieland and Return of the Living Dead. Interesting.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you gotta go in like a little bit more of your kind of off kilter zombie films. Whereas I'm a Romero purist, so I would say my favorite zombie films would be Dawn, Night, and Day. So there you go.
Okay. Man, see, I gotta go Italian. I gotta go City of the Living Dead, also known as Gates of Hell, uh
Mm, yeah.
Cemetery Man, Della Morte, Della More,
Yes, sir.
and of course Fulci Lives, the classic zombie. Yeah. I love them Italian, I love them weird, man. Like,
That's it. You can't get weirder than City of the Dead, man. The
oh dude,
zombies
yeah.
like teleporting and shit, and yeah.
Dude, zombies teleporting, and then there's like this like 60-year-old grizzled reporter trying to figure out what's going on, and he's the hero of the piece. And then like, yeah, and it's like see, it's like Fulci's another director, man. You either get him or you don't.
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, and it's like if you man, the Beyond, if you can watch the Beyond ain't got if you ever watch the Beyond, don't expect to understand a damn bit of that movie. You know,
No.
yeah. If you're one of those people that want to talk about all highbrow about Suspiria and shit, and like talk smack about the Beyond, like
Mm-hmm.
they're both cut from the same cloth, man.
Well,
Like, but
I've always saw the Beyond as a great companion piece to the Sentinel, but the Sentinel is far more a focus film than the Beyond. But it's basically
yeah,
the same movie. But the
yeah,
Beyond is way weirder, way gorier, and makes a lot less sense.
yeah. Yeah, the Italians were more about the visuals, man.
Oh
They were gonna make like, yeah, it was surreal, it was dreamlike, and it's like
yeah,
I liked the
right. So
weird.
the Beyond
Yes,
goes
the Beyond go. Yes, yes.
beyond understanding. Exactly. Yeah. And you
Yeah.
said go back to bad. The Life of Brian on even harder drugs. Wow.
Oh man.
Okay,
Wow.
that's a comparison I've never thought of before, but I'm intrigued
Yeah.
by that. Yeah, and Bradley says also Lucio Fulci zombie. Yep. I mean, come on, giant splinter of wood through the eye, and you get to see this. And
Yeah.
this is a PG-13 show, not an R show, so we won't go into great
Yeah,
detail over it.
we can't go too
But
hard. Yeah. We
but
can't
yeah,
even
that's
show the cover of Zombie on this show.
no,
Like,
you can't. Yeah,
yeah.
no, you can't. But also, you have Shark versus Zombie. So there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was Zombie 4?
No, that was in the original too. They did Shark versus
They
Zombies
did.
in the original. They did it again in 4 though.
That's right. Yeah. It's been so
Yeah.
damn long since I've seen
Yeah,
it.
but
Yeah.
the better version was in the original though. Oh, and V makes an excellent point that I was just thinking of. You know what the best part is? We haven't even
Yeah,
gotten to
we
today's
haven't
podcast.
at all. Yeah, we've been it's almost 45 minutes in. We haven't
And you
even
know what?
started reviews. We
Yeah,
haven't even
we have comics and books to talk about too.
yeah.
See, that's what I love about this show. We have got off on 3 tangents. We started talking about started talking about Oblivion, then we started talking about Metal Gear Solid. Now we
Yeah.
started talking about zombie films and Peter Jackson movies.
Yeah.
I love this show, and I love our
Okay.
audience for getting in there.
Oh yeah. It's amazing.
Yeah, there you go. If he today they won't even get out. Oh, love it. Oh, love it. All right. Well, let's see. We got some reviews here to talk about. Real quick, though, just to kind of give you a glimpse of some free comic book day stuff. This was my stack that I got here, so I'll show you everything that I pulled here. So, well, we've got DC here with the all-in Superman Unchained special, but also some Absolute Universe stuff as well. So it's a little
Ooh.
flip. Yeah, so you get a little flip.
I like flip books. Yeah, I do like that. A
Yeah,
lot of
it's
early Image stuff was like that.
yeah, and then you got a little bit Marvel here, Ultimate Spider-Man or Ultimate Universe and Amazing Spider-Man, and also Fantastic Four and the X-Men. So previews of upcoming Marvel stuff here. And one you've been waiting for, good sir.
Yes.
And this is a wraparound cover, and I don't know if I want to show you the backside of it because it's a bit of a spoiler.
Okay, don't show me then. Don't show me.
Yeah, especially if you haven't read the last issue of G.I. Joe.
I have not. No. Yeah,
You may want to do that before you show up to the comic shop tomorrow.
Okay, I can do that because it is on Hoopla.
Yeah, you may want to do that because, yeah, the backside of this cover is a huge spoiler, but it pertains to the ending of last issue.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then, of course, we got another one you're waiting for. Scourge of the
Urge of the
Serpent.
Serpent. Yes.
Conan. All right.
I love this Titan Conan universe. Yeah.
Oh God, it's been gorgeous. This one from Vault Comics to get a lot of press here because it's Post Malone's Big Rig, and you're like, "What? Post Malone, the hip hop guy? What are you talking about?" But your creative team on here is Adrian Wassel and Nathan Gooden, and let me give you the pitch on this one here. The Dark Age. Sorry, the Dark Ages. Demon hordes plague Europe as hell invades Earth. The Six Petals, spelled Petals, the secret sect of the Knights Templar, are in desperate need of a holy weapon to drive back the scourge. So is this truck the holy weapon, or is it delivering the holy weapon, or what? But yeah, interesting.
I'm down for it. Yeah, it's like I like weird. I'm down. Yeah.
I pulled one for you, and also there's a movie in development with Michael Bay producing already.
Oh,
so yeah, so Post Malone is getting into the comic book and the movie making game, and you know what? I'm kind of here for it. I'm curious to check it out.
And you know what? I'm actually even one of those guys that's going to defend Michael Bay movies. That's a topic number 4. V. Write that down. Seth's Michael Bay defense.
All right, so we got Peter Jackson show, Metal Gear Solid, and Kojima. Whatever his nuts is, and then zombie movies,
and
or Lucio Fulci, specifically, and then now,
not Titan or not not Pearl Harbor though. There's no defense for that.
Yeah, no. Okay. All right. Also, I got a Mark Spears Monsters Zero issue here. I've loved this series. Yeah, and of course, the great thing about Mark Spears is that he does the covers, he does the interior art. So if you like the cover, you're gonna love the inside.
That's killer. Yeah.
And then EC Comics has a couple of new ongoing series coming up this year. The first one is Blood Type, which I think is a vampire series. I'm not entirely sure. So there you go. And then lastly, from Mad Cave, the Phantom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is the Phantom coming back out?
The Phantom's already been back out because Mad Cave has the rights to Flash Gordon and the Defenders of the Earth. So currently there's a Flash Gordon series. There is a Defenders of the Earth series, which the Phantom is a part of. So
yeah.
So, but now
the Phantom was. Yeah, I always never understood why the Phantom didn't catch on more.
I know. I've always loved the Phantom and the Shadow have always been my two favorite pulp heroes. So.
Oh, I know. I love the Shadow. Yeah. Yeah, Shadow's out of print now too, man. Yeah. Noted. Yep. Michael Bay. Got it. Thank you.
Pearl Harbor. What about the island?
Man, that. Oh man, we're gonna have to put a footnote in that episode about the island. Yeah. Man.
Let's see. MSG, zombies, Peter Jackson, Fallout, Elder Scrolls, comedy horror. I think that's we got it. So we have so much stuff.
Man, this is awesome. Yeah.
I love it here. Barton says, Hell invaded Earth. I thought the Pope is dead. I don't know. And the gates have opened, as we said earlier here. Oh, update on Shadowrun, please. We will never forget.
Oh yeah, man. Okay, yeah. Dude, thank you for reminding me, man. Yeah, okay. Yeah, because I'm in the perfect opportunity. Yeah, they released the Berlin update of the Shadowrun book, right? I need to update my my manual for it. And I'm in the perfect opportunity that I can print out a hard copy. Or I'm in the perfect position to print out a hard copy. Mm-hmm. So, I will. Thank you for reminding me of that. I need to prioritize that a bit. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to get our international Shadowrun game together here. So we're looking for players. Oh, and Bradley says the Shadow knows.
Shadow knows.
What evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow.
The Shadow knows. I always loved the weed of crime bears bitter fruit.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And it always makes sense because basically like the Shadow's origin state back to basically like the opium trade, so it's like, yeah. So, there you go. So everybody's harvesting poppies, and he was in the poppy fields for a while when he was he wasn't a POW, but he found himself overseas, and basically he was kind of an opium den for a while. Then basically he was an indentured servant, working in the poppy fields for.
He had like 3 origins, because at one point he was Lamont Cranston, and then he wasn't Lamont Cranston anymore. And this was in the original Gibson stories too.
Yeah.
Like, because Gibson kept retconning his origin over and over again.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it was wild. Oh man, we need to do a whole Pulp Heroes episode. Didn't we do one before? Maybe we need another one.
We've talked about some Golden Age stuff. We talked about like new. I don't think we've done a Pulp Heroes one. I don't know, or maybe we done. Well, we got another topic. There you go. So.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here, so Mark says he has now figured out why the algorithm has brought us to him. You are a seller with Jake and with that Kbon guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not a seller. I work in a comic book store, but I'm not. I sell and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know.
I don't do nothing with whatnot.
Yeah, so that's a good question. I don't know. That's an interesting question. We'll have to discover that. All right. Well, we got to get some comic reviews here before we start talking about Sunny, because right now we're going to talk about Sunny.
Yeah, an hour in. Yeah.
All right. So our Marvel topics for this evening here. I've loved this Hell Hunters miniseries here. And basically, so this is basically your World War II heroes getting some supernatural abilities, taking out some other demons. So the issue 5 brings us to the end of this miniseries here. But we've had the World War II era Ghost Rider, of course, Wolverine, Bucky, the Winter Soldier here, but Bucky when he's a teenager. Agent Steven Zardoz, who basically was kind of an alternate version of Captain America and a mixture of Doctor Strange. But basically, so consider a World War II soldier that used magic, and his weapon of choice was a breathing gun, like it was a living weapon.
Okay.
And also throw in Peggy Carter as well. But yeah, friggin' love this series. Oh, also Nick Fury as well. Can't forget Nick. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Just supernatural World War II era fun. And written by Philip Kennedy Johnson as well. So yeah, you can't go wrong. So the issue 5 kind of teased maybe there's more to come, but the first miniseries is over now. It's like, yeah, I know. I would like to see a lot more from it though. Next up here, issue number 16 of Ultimate Spider-Man here. So this has been a really excellent series here. The Ultimate Universe is kind of a new version, not a sequel to the original, but a new version built in the image of the evil Reed Richards. The difference is a lot of our heroes were either denied their hero story or it's been delayed. In the case of Peter Parker, he becomes Spider-Man in his 40s, where he's married to Mary Jane. They have 2 children. And he's been a journalist his entire life, not a superhero. But now he is. This issue really flips the script on a lot of things that have been going on in the series here, namely the death of Harry Osborn, who's been kind of Peter's friend in this whole thing. Even though Harry's been inhabiting the Green Goblin suit, he's been like a partner to Spider-Man as opposed to like a villain. Right. But Harry was killed a couple of issues ago, and so it's been kind of affecting Peter and kind of moving forward here. But the script is really flipped on this, on the origin of Gwen Stacy in this Ultimate Universe and how it connects to Mysterio. And I'm telling you, the whole thing is kind of fanned out for you in this issue here. This is basically like the evil genius telling you his plot, sort of thing like that. Yeah. Very, very impressive issue here. So it's kind of those things like I recommend like reading the whole series to kind of know what's going on, because when you get to that issue 16, it's like,
yeah, I need to catch back up to it. I think I dropped off about after issue 5 or 6 and just haven't gotten back around to it. But yeah, I need to keep on top of it. Spider-Man. Or Spider Pig does whatever a Spider Pig can.
I always have Spider Pig going through my head there.
I know.
What Spider-Man has kids? Don't you have Bug Raiders this We do have Orchid. Yes. Oh, Mark says, anyway, he's happy to have found you. The best there is. It's too late. It's too late for you anything. See, that's
thank
perfect.
you. Yeah.
Welcome to the table, brother. Next up here, in the next installment of the Godzilla versus this is Godzilla versus Spider-Man. And
Yeah.
I'm going to take an interesting take on this one because this is our first dud.
Oh.
I mean, it's fun, but compared to the last two issues where we've had a lot of cameos of other kaiju, other heroes and villains and whatever else, this is basically just Spidey and Godzilla and not much else. And of course, the Venom suit is involved. And you get a little bit of Eddie Brock as well, but it was okay. But literally compared to the versus Fantastic Four and versus Hulk issues, it's kind of mediocre, which is interesting. Like I said, it's not horrible, but it's like,
it's not great either. Yeah, huh?
Yeah, great either. Yeah. So, and V asks, does Spider-Man show up? If not, it's not really Japanese. So that's a great question. Spider-Man does not show up in Godzilla versus Spider-Man, which is an unfortunate thing. I agree. We should have it in there. Oh, yeah. Brandon says, you're so fat when you shave marshmallow fluff comes out. All right. Our one DC comic I need to talk about this week here.
And it's a Batman book. Yep. Boom. You know what, though? I can't give you crap because there weren't Batman books for like 2 weeks in a row.
That's true. This one I have to give a lot of credit for. This is Detective Comics Annual #1 for 2025. This is one I didn't see coming because I'm figuring like, okay, it's just another annual. We'll see if it connects to modern continuity. If it doesn't, whatever else. This is delightful. And hang on. I got to give V there says, we know it. We're waiting for it. Yes.
Yep.
You won DC comic and it's a Batman book. Yes. This is written by Al Ewing with art by Stefano Raffali, John McCrae, and Fico Ossio, because this is basically a murder mystery tale told in 3 parts. And so each part is of those respective artists that I just named. But it's a good old-fashioned Batman murder mystery with no connection to modern continuity. Matter of fact, Alfred has been referred to multiple times throughout this as if he's still alive. So there's definitely no way, because Alfred's been dead for like almost 10 years now. So there's definitely no way this is connected to modern continuity.
See, I am so far out of touch with modern comic continuity, I guess, now that like you mentioned the idea of Alfred being dead, and I'm like, what the hell? And it's I've heard that before. I know that he is, but it's like it's still like, and it's one of those things like I used to get upset when people couldn't comprehend the idea of like Dick Grayson not being Robin anymore. Mm-hmm. But like, it's not like they never really quit making, Dick Grayson Robin stories, Right, but but now it's like I kind of understand it because I'm like, Alfred's not dead, damn it. He's still,
and Bane's the one that did it too. And he did it in the manor.
Oh.
Yeah, basically it was during the City of Bane storyline, which is a really good storyline. It's Moxley being bad.
No, Moxley is being fine. It is Mika the gray shithead cat that is so no. So Moxley he is trying to just lay there and be a good boy, right? Because I told him, we got to settle down, right? He's been hell on wheels tonight. So like he's finally laying there, and then Mika just keeps rubbing in his face, right? Like blatant, just like, like whole heart, like, rubbing all over his snout and like, just doing like that butthole cat thing, that they do.
Yeah.
And, it's like, he's just sitting there trying to just be good. And, and so she finally walks by me. So it's like I goose her tail. And it's like, quit doing that. She does that just to aggravate him, to get him going because she's bored.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's almost blind and always deaf, but she's still a shithead.
Yeah, she's the most mischievous little turd. and I love her to death. I wouldn't trade her for nothing.
But yeah. Bradley comment about Ultimate Spider-Man says that's the part where Pete makes fun of Kingpin and Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, exactly. There's several issues back. There's a part where there's a Sinister Six that basically is run by Wilson Fisk, and he and Peter have a good fight there, but yeah, Pete starts really mocking him, and he basically does a bad thing by pissing off the Kingpin. And when you're in a fight with the Kingpin, you don't want to piss him off because you're just going to make him mad. So yeah, it's okay. Oh, and talking about Alfred, spoilers. Yeah, sorry, it's a 10-year-old spoiler, but yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad says Bane did almost kill Alfred in Arkham Origins. Yes, that is true. Yes, in the game, Arkham Origins, that is very true. But in the comics, he's all the way dead. Yeah. My last two comic reviews here for some indie stuff here. Our final silent issue for G.I. Joe, the Duke issue here. And again, all 5 of these silent issues have been so damn fun. Like it's told in no words. It's all images. And Duke's on a mission doing crazy Duke shit.
Right. Crazy Duke shit.
I mean, it's just, all 5 of them been delightful. Beachhead, Jinx, Spirit, Roadblock, Duke, all of them just been delightful. I've absolutely loved it. Our big one of the week here, we're already sold out at the shop of this one here. But this is a cool image series here. Lost Fantasy Giant Size #1. Now, this is a new series here, so it's a little misleading with the giant size, but this is a little bit bigger first issue. But Kurt Pyers, Luca Casaguida, Mark Dale, and Michael Myers are the creative team on this one here. This is a very much the real world bleeding into a fantasy world sort of storyline. Our current storyline takes place in the modern day, but the origin of this is basically the Great San Francisco earthquake of 1836, where shortly thereafter a fire in San Francisco broke out that destroyed most of the city, and they've rebuilt over top the old one. We always know that history. What you don't know is that the Great Fire was caused by some fire trolls, and that there was a group of 5 Templars who came from the world the fire trolls came from, and defeated them, brought them back to their other world. And so then you get this kind of weird exploration relationship between the real world and this fantasy world, even to the point where President Theodore Roosevelt signs a treaty that basically there's this kind of exploration. We're going to be nice, you guys be nice, sort of thing like that.
Yeah.
Sort of history going back to that, but then we get to the modern world, things are broken, things are a little bit different. But a descendant, the son of one of the great hunters here is this white-haired dude here. He's, of course, definitely a fighter, magic user, whatever else. But yeah, really, really cool stuff. We light ordered this one just because we weren't sure about it. I was intrigued by it. Sold the F out of this thing here. But good news, there's a second print they're already doing on the way. The second print cover is the B cover. The B cover of this was an homage to Final Fantasy VII, where we see yet again.
I was going to say, definitely, with the huge Berserk style sword,
Yes, only to the point where it's a homage to the PlayStation 1 cover to Final Fantasy VII.
Oh man, where it's like the back at the angle,
Yeah, and it even has like the look, like it has like you almost expect to see PlayStation on there, and you don't see it. But yeah, that was the B cover. Well, when the second print comes out, they're going to use the B cover as that. So I will grab you one because I already know you're intrigued.
Well, yes, I am. Thank you. Appreciate that.
You're welcome. All right, you had a book review before we get to our Sunday discussion here.
Yes. Oh man. So y'all know that I have been reading the Malazan series, or at least I started with Gardens of the Moon, right? So I got that set from Broken Binding of the first 3 books, right? So I finished the second book, Dead House Gates, right?
Ooh,
and so I have never had more fun being utterly depressed in my entire life. Stuff continues from the first book. Like we follow some of the bridge burners, like as they look, because they split off in the first book, right?
Okay.
So this is like what happens to a couple of them, and how like just like the travel that they have to do. Meanwhile, it's interspersed with this story about Coltane, this warlord named Coltane, and what is called the Chain of Dogs, where he's trying to basically keep remnants of defeated armies together to protect this huge train of refugees from like outside attacks from these armies as they move to like the only safe spot that they've got, right? So it's like
Mhm.
you follow this thing, it's like where it's like the army's like 500,000 people down to where it's like 5,000, and it's like the most brutal friggin' thing that I think I've ever read. But it's also been like it's been it it was a weird journey though too, and I really enjoy it. Yeah, there were times it was a grind at times, but it's like I feel the payoff was definitely worth it.
Okay.
And yeah, it's like you meet some you meet some new characters that are intriguing. There's some very funny parts in it too. And yeah, it's like I so book 2, yeah, book 2 is a winner. So next up will be book 3, but I'm gonna skip. I've got a couple of other books to read and in between time, but yeah,
Yeah,
this is
because
yeah, go ahead.
kind of in reference to that, Seth has also booked us another topic, future topic here with a horror author. So that's kind of cool.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, he kindly provided us with some review copies of his work, and I still need to send those to you too. I haven't forgotten, but
Were they
yeah.
email or like physical copies?
Emails, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
PDF copies, yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry, real quick. Yeah. This version though, it's the broken binding version that goes with the first one, so it's got like the art when you put it on the
I
other side.
love that.
Yeah, and then the book plates. Yeah, that's
Woo.
one scene from the book. Yeah, where yeah, that's a pretty pivotal moment, but then like the true like okay, what in the hell moment is depicted on the back flap, which is the giant undead dragon, setting fire to the ship full of full of beheaded oarsmen, as it travels through their magic tunnel. Yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah, right? Like, dude, this whole thing is like a heavy metal album. Like
Yeah.
just with like the weird yeah, it's so weird and all. Like I keep saying I love the weird stuff, and yeah, it's like you just got to go with some of the stuff that they just come up with in there, and it's like, well, okay, that's a thing now.
Yeah, this is
And
a collaboration soundtrack brought to you by Ronnie James Dio and Halloween.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, but it's been one of those, it's been worth the effort to try and, get through some dense text at some times, but
Oh,
I've been very, very pleased with it. So I'm definitely going to check out the third book here in the next couple of weeks, but yeah.
nice. I love the bindings on those two. They're just beautiful
Oh yeah,
stuff.
they're it's such a nice set. I'm glad I got it too. And they're still like affordable. It's like, that still like comes out to be about $40 a book, like all said and done. So it's like you don't
Wow.
feel bad about reading them, but they're nice, nice additions because
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I can appreciate that too. Yeah. So you're
Mhm.
helping out independent artists too. So,
Yeah.
so Martin says you won a Spider Mech. Believe it or not, 3 years ago, Resurrection Toys did one. I remember that. Yes.
Oh wow.
Still have some flying around here. So, yeah, we need to open a Discord. Okay, so I need to figure out what I know. I've heard of Discord. I know what it is, but
It's okay. So all right, I got a rant on Discord too. Uh
oh,
and I
topic
use
number
Discord
six for this
daily.
evening.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
Topic number six for the evening.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's like I just feel like yeah, where it's like people used to do a lot of swapping on like online forums and everything, and it's like, the going on video platforms like Whatnot and everything, that makes sense, but like, it's like Discord, people like to make like really segmented Discords.
Mm,
So it's like you'd have like so let's say for example, there's the Conan the Barbarian Discord, right? Well, it's like
okay,
there's really like 17 Conan the Barbarian Discords with 70,000 people in them, just throwing a number out there, but they're all interspersed between, several different communities, right? So like no, like all the information's still very fragmented, and you can never get it unless you get invited or involved into these channels that may or may not get deleted. I don't know. As
okay.
far as like I as far as facilitating discussion, yeah, I'm not or I think Discord's a bad place to do it. But anyway, I digress. That's
There you go. Also, he can bring his Iron Morph with Robert Downey Jr.'s head sculpt, a fusion between Iron Man and Alien. Ooh, so it's a xenomorph, but
huh.
interesting. An Iron
Yeah.
Man Alien crossover with you got ooh,
Oh,
okay. I am intrigued because I'm a big Alien fan. So all right.
yeah.
Oh, it basically said instead of Halloween and Dio as a Blind Guardian cover worthy. Oh, great. There
Oh,
you go.
I love Blind Guardian, yes.
There we go. And then Yeah, so Halloween is a German band. Please don't inherit my cult. Oh, come on. I love
Dude, Halloween is awesome. Yeah.
And then V says, you are unleashing tonight.
Unleashing tonight, yeah.
Baby. Yeah.
Yeah,
V
weirdly,
also,
these are inappropriate topics on my other show, but they're not inappropriate, I guess. But they would just like, they
well,
wouldn't
Bill would
fit.
just sit
And
there looking bored and have no idea what you're talking about.
yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, so see, there you go. So you guys can handle, real world stuff and get like notoriety and awards, and we'll be over here talking about our nerd shit and be happy with that.
Yeah.
So there you go. Oh, and so Resurrection Toys. That's right. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, my Resurrection Toys stuff is I've actually got a couple of your toys because I've got the Kong Predator mashup with the Kiss
Oh
paint
yeah,
on.
yeah.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
the Godzilla Xenomorph that has the LED lights that lights up there. So yeah, that's
I
how we
remember
know each
those.
other,
Those were
Martin.
damn awesome. Yes.
Yeah, that's how we know each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Those
there
were
we
cool as
go.
hell.
Yep, the Predaking and the Xenozilla. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was at a convention covering that for the podcast, and one of your guys was selling your toys. Oh shoot, I can't remember his name, but yeah, one of your representatives was selling your toys there, and I saw those. I'm like, yes, I have to have those. So yeah.
Yeah.
So yep, yeah, that was all.
Yeah,
you
you were so proud. Yeah, you had to you were super proud to show me those too.
Yep, and I even did a
They were
video.
awesome.
I did a video on my YouTube for you guys here. So. Oh, okay, yeah,
Okay.
yes. I think actually, we'll see. Yeah, because I've talked to Marcos I think before, and then it might have been Jim. Yeah, it may have been Jim that I talked to. But yeah, anyway, but I say it was a show in Kentucky, so if that helps out. So but it was a con in Kentucky, and I was because a friend of mine was running it, so I was covering it for the podcast, talking about it. Creative Overload was the name of the show. Yeah, and so it may have been Jim, but yeah, I said we met over. I saw your toys, and I'm like, oh, these are cool. Like I said, there were more I wanted to get because the other thing I loved too was like there was the alien eggs that like remember like the muscle guys who get to open the trash can and like there. It was the same concept with an alien egg, and then you open up and there's like those little alien figures, or like you had ones that was like a Xenomorph where like it was a larger figure, but you had to build it, with the parts that were in there. So
yeah. That's awesome.
Oh, Kentucky was Jim because he's located in Texas. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. Yeah. So okay. See, exactly. Small world, Martin. So.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you guys do wrestling stuff now.
Oh.
Okay. Say less. Okay. All right. Speaking of saying less, I think we should probably get to our topic du jour, seeing as we're an hour and 15 minutes into the show here.
Yes.
Because what was our topic du jour here was, what is your favorite episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia? We have talked about everything but.
Yeah, I know. It's any other episode we would have spent 45 minutes already on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. But yeah.
This is the sidebar episode.
Yeah. This was the most fun I think I've ever had researching for a podcast though. So,
okay.
Yeah, no, because it's like I've been falling asleep to It's Always Sunny episodes for probably the past couple of weeks. And but I mean it's like, you know how it's like Hulu will play like 5 of them before it cuts off or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing about whenever you're wanting to talk about your favorite It's Always Sunny episodes, the titles of them don't necessarily correspond to what happens in them.
Very true.
Yeah, so it's like if you're looking for the Pepe Sylvia episode, for example, it's called D Has a Heart Attack. Mm-hmm. So, unless you can see a small synopsis of what's going on, you may be picking the wrong thing. So I may not be 100% on my episode titles tonight, but
that's perfectly fine. Because I didn't want to go with necessarily a format because I'm more like let's talk about favorite episodes, favorite moments, whatever else. Even if you have a particular favorite season here. Oh, and going back to our figures discussion here, Martin says, "Open Discord, and he'll get us stuffed up." So there we go. So we open Discord. We're getting some cool. All right, cool.
Okay,
you're on, Martin. We'll get on there. Yeah, it basically, of course, I'm wearing my Patty's Pub shirt. Sunny is definitely within my top 5 of all time favorite shows, and it's one of those that I got into it very late. I didn't get into it until multiple seasons in, and I've played a lot of catch up since then. So I think I started getting into it around season 8. So I think that's kind of almost why 10 might be a favorite of mine, just because it's kind of one of those, like, it started off hot, it remained hot throughout the season, and it ended well too. So
yeah.
But if you've never watched an episode here, a brief synopsis. Kaboom! Here you go. Here, so here's what originally aired on FX. Now it's on FXX because that's a cable channel they can basically say F words on. So you can do whatever you want on that one here. But in the first season of the show here, you meet Mac, Charlie, and Dennis here. So Charlie's the one holding the cat there.
Andy.
Well, Andy, yes, as well. But you basically, Mac, Charlie, and Dennis own a bar called Patty's Pub. Dee is Dennis's twin sister. Danny DeVito's character is Frank Reynolds, who is basically their father. But Frank doesn't show up until the second season. So first season's like 6 episodes long. It's got some good parts in it, but like you can definitely tell they're still trying to work things out. Yeah. And kind of FX told them, like, you kind of need somebody else to kind of carry the show, to keep going here. And so some consternation, some talking, wherever else they work it out, and they offer it up to Danny DeVito. Danny's like, yeah, that sounds fun. And we're off to the races.
Yeah. Yeah, Danny DeVito was like definitely the key ingredient to that, because whenever I go back and watch It's Always Sunny, I usually skip the first 6 just because they're not terrible, but it's just they're just real raw. And and it's like pretty much anything with DeVito onward, and especially post I believe season 5 is when they started going widescreen from 4:3.
Right.
But yeah, because they were. It's interesting too, because it's one of the and this is I'm a TV nerd like this. They were on. They've been on long enough to be at that transition point between most television aspect ratios being 4.3 to being 16:9. Mm-hmm. And so the first 5 seasons, or is it the first 4 seasons, are 4:3, and then the 5th is 16. That's when they start. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there is a noticeable difference there too, and it's I kind of actually prefer post 16:9. It's Always Sunny, and not necessarily because a lot of the lore keeps getting built up into those episodes too, and keeps playing off each other, and it's great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, there's a lot of lore in the first season that is, like, the McBoyle brothers are introduced in the first season, the Charlie gets molested episode, and the McBoyles.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
And the McBoyles are an important part throughout the whole thing. Basically, these are a pair of brothers that are part of a very weird, possibly very incestuous family. They basically
only drink milk.
They only drink milk from a certain particular cow. They sit around all day in their tidy whities in bathrobes. It looks like they haven't bought a new tidy whities in a while. They're gross and weird, but just another part of the lore. So yeah. Go. Martin says, I've never heard about this show. Isn't filling the place where wrecked HIV positives stumble through the streets and get an Oscar for it? Oh, we're getting some Tom Hanks shade here. Yeah. Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. And then Commander Riker and Danny DeVito are relatives. Really? I did not know this.
I'm confused on that one. Yeah, I don't know. I'd never heard that. Yeah.
I haven't either. That's kind of cool. Oh, red heifer milk. Not that kind of milk. Oh, love it here. Bradley says, I thought Nanny's character was a weird friend. Didn't know he was met. Oh, Danny's character is weird. Danny's character is the father for Dennis and Dee. Now, of course, there's some development later on in that story, but initially when he's introduced as their, like, stepdad, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, they've had history with him. Hold up, go back to go back to Bradley's comment if you don't mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, talking about totally unrelated, but Danny DeVito married to the same woman for 50 years. Yeah, Rhea Perlman, actually. Yeah, which was very like I would love to see them just as a couple, like just on a like like how do they handle like cooking dinner together or something?
I know, right?
Like yeah. I love Danny DeVito as a director, as a writer, as an actor. Yeah. So yeah, and Rhea Perlman, she was on Cheers. She was great.
Yeah. Interesting enough, Rhea's only appeared in one episode of It's Always Sunny.
Did she? I
Yep.
don't remember.
Yeah, there's basically it's the episode where everybody keeps like weird stuff's happening. Like Dennis keeps like forgetting words. Dee's got like weird facial paralysis. Charlie probably thinks he's cursed. It basically all relates to the fact there was a dead monkey in the barn. It's been there for a long time and rotting, and silverfish are forming. And Dennis was getting basically poisoned from the carcinogens from the dead body and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, so Dee has a neighbor. And she was harassing the neighbor, playing video games too loud, and gave her a trophy, saying the trophy that said "C word of the year," and the neighbor is Rhea Perlman. So she's in,
yeah.
So Rhea's in a couple of scenes. She has scenes with Dee and Dennis, but she does not have a scene with Danny. So
okay.
Oh, as Mark says, there's a Riker and a suit he probably stole
from Quark and Danny's in front.
Okay, you basically talk about the picture we showed there. So,
okay.
That's
Mac talking about Mac being Riker, looking like Riker. Yeah,
yeah. So here's the interesting thing too. I just chose a random picture of just showing the gang entirely there. Here's the dedication these guys have to the show here. Let me explain a couple of points here. For one, talk about Mac, who's the guy here with his eyes closed here. That's Rob McElhenney. Now, if you've seen Rob McElhenney recently, you know this guy is like peak fitness, super fit, super ripped, skinny, whatever else. But for an entire season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, just to be funny, he gained a bunch of weight and had an entire season of Fat Mac.
Yeah.
And then we get towards the end of the season, and there's an episode that explains why he's fat. But for many episodes of that season, there's no explanation. He's just fat. He's eating a lot of food. He's talking about building mass. He thinks he's going to be like a big bodybuilder and be a big
accumulating mass.
Build a bunch of muscle and weight. Where else? And all he's doing is eating literally chimichangas out of a trash can. But the guy did this for an entire season, just to be funny, and then. Giving flowers here to Miss Dee Reynolds here. I can't remember her real name, but Dee Reynolds is not. So that's the funny thing is that Charlie, he's Charlie in the show. Rob McElhenney,
Kate Olsen.
Thank you, Kate Olsen. Thank you, Caitlin Olsen. So, and then of course Dennis is Glenn Howerton. But they've talked about like Charlie's very much like Charlie, Mac's very much like Mac, but Glenn is very much not Dennis because Dennis is a psychopath, possibly a serial killer. We don't know. But he's definitely weird. And then Dee is very much not like Caitlin Olsen. But Caitlin Olsen, it should have got like stunt woman awards for basically her work throughout the show because there's a lot of stunts. A lot of times Dee gets hurt on the show or whatever else. And like, there's no stunt woman. It's Caitlin doing the stunts. And a very good explanation is the episode where Dee's trying to recreate Sex in the City. And so she's got Artemis, the waitress. They're going out. And there's a point where she's going to the shoe store and she's going to buy some Manolo Blancs. Her credit card's denied. And so she's running out of the store with these Manolo Blancs on, but they're too small for her feet. So she's walking awkwardly. And there's basically she goes careening head first into a car door, leaving a head-sized dent into the car door. There was no stunt woman. That was not a stunt car. That was Caitlin Olsen running head first into a car and leaving a dent. This is this woman's dedication to comedy. This is Mac's dedication to comedy. These people are married and they have made 2 children. So there you go.
Yeah.
but going back, going back to season 5. Season 5 is probably one of my first favorite seasons. That's the one you were talking about, the aspect ratio change here. One of my all-time favorite ones is the Mac, or basically the gang goes on, or gang hits the road. That's the gang hits the road, where the idea is the boys are going to go to the Grand Canyon. They're going to take a road trip to the Grand Canyon. They're going to try to leave before Dee shows up. So basically, the bar is deserted and she's there by herself, and they don't have to deal with her on there. Because the whole thing is the guys love hanging out with each other. Frank sometimes gets along with him, sometimes, whatever else. But Dee is always treated horribly on the show, yet she's still part of the gang.
One of my favorite episodes actually is when they break Dee. And yeah,
the jokes on Dee.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's a tremendous episode. But that's the funny thing. I've always talked about, compared this show like to the anti-Seinfeld, because Seinfeld basically was a show about nothing where you had a group of friends that treated other people horribly. Well, in this show, it's a show about nothing where you got a group of friends that treat themselves horribly.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this show to me is so much better than Seinfeld. Yeah.
Yeah. Granted, they treat other people horribly too, but they're also like, one second they're the best of friends, the next second they're stabbing each other in the back.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah, and they treat other people horribly too, but it's like they never really get one over on anybody. It's like it always they always get, what they always suffer some kind of negative consequence because of their terrible behavior.
Right.
And yeah. But it's like other times it's entertaining, and sometimes you even feel sympathy for some of the characters. Like you do feel bad for Charlie at times.
Oh yeah.
And you feel bad for Mac, like with his relationship with his mother.
And
it was Oh God, yeah. Did my dad say anything about me? No, he didn't. Like he didn't say he loves me or anything.
No. And here's the thing I love, the actor that plays his dad. So he basically, season 5, I think, is the last season we see Mac's dad, because basically he moves to Tijuana. He's like, I can't be around you. Talking to his own son. I can't be around you. You're a terrible influence, all this kind of stuff like that. I still love you, but I'm going away. So he retires from the show, and then 5 seasons later, he plays that basically his uncle, Mac's uncle, who is homosexual, almost the complete antithesis of his dad. And in doing so, he gains weight for the role. So he basically has a fat Mac for one friggin' episode.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, it's the same actor, but he was retired. He put a little weight on. He put a little more weight on for the episode to look very different than Luther. Yeah. So yeah. So,
and and that is one thing I always loved about the show too, was that like they would treat like, obviously like Matt comes out as gay later on, right? In this, and it's like they never cared that he was gay. They just cared that he wouldn't admit that he was gay.
Right.
And it was like that was what they made fun of. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very uncomfortable, like he was like, closeted to the point of like, this, just please come out, because it's much more.
He made it more awkward by how closeted he was.
Yeah. Or mixing religion and bodybuilding and all these other things in there that were just confusing the situation. But yes, so when it really just came out, she's like, you need to come to grips with the fact that you are gay and be okay with it, because all your friends are already cool with it. They just need you to be cool with it.
Yeah.
And actually, season, was it 9? I believe 9 or 11 brings us Mac finds his pride. And so it's an episode where basically the Patty's Pub is going to make a gay pride float. And so the centerpiece of the float was supposed to be Mac, because, well, Mac's gay. There you go. But Mac is uncomfortable with going to the pride parade. He'd never been to one before. He didn't want to do this. And so there's this whole thing that's going on there, and you're seeing a lot of weird mystery stuff with Mac having some weird behavior. You don't know what it is. What you finally find out culminates to the fact that Mac had this like performance art dance routine that he had worked out with another dancer who's like a professional dancer that basically told the story of his struggles internally and wanting to come out, but his, this was telling me no, this was telling me yes, whatever else. And he wanted to perform this dance for his father, who was currently in prison. So basically, he was going to perform it at the prison. And somehow,
right.
Danny, Frank is there to witness this. And so Frank is the one who finally, he was still kind of the one that was like, he wasn't quite sure with Mac. He was kind of where else. And he sees this performance, which drives away his dad. But Frank gets it. And all of a sudden, you have this new level of acceptance with Frank and Mac.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful moment. It's a beautiful episode. Actually, there was the song they used, the Siwar Rose, is like the Icelandic band that doesn't sing in English.
Yeah. I have not seen this episode. I'm gonna have to go and watch it. Yeah, I don't know how I missed it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I said, season 9 or 11, or maybe even 10. No, maybe it is 10. Yeah, it is because I was thinking, because the because literally like the next season's episode is the one where Frank is playing chess against a Russian, and at first they're using like a restaurant buzzer to communicate with him, and then somebody gets clued on the restaurant buzzer, and so instead they use a sex toy that can be inserted and left inside a person, but it can also be remotely controlled with a phone app and to vibrate.
Yeah.
So then that's how they end up communicating with Frank so he can play against the Russian in the chess game.
Yeah.
So that episode, there's a little bit more of the pickup of Frank's understanding of Mac being a homosexual and the lifestyle and being accepting of that. So there's a little bit of a callback to that, but that again, also one of my favorite episodes here. I think it was like the gang takes on the Russians or something along those lines. But so that's the thing is that we could sit here and just there are so many moments, so many perfect episodes of the show.
Yeah.
Because of course, the Nightman Cometh. I mean, that is such a famous episode of the show where basically Charlie has created a musical. The musical is obviously about the times when he was young, where his uncle, who was living with him, was molesting him. But
it also starts too. You got to start where when Mac wants to start the band. Right?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh
so that's,
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's where it starts too. Yeah.
Yes.
Mac makes Frank, because Frank's the money man and all their weird, crazy, harebrained schemes.
Yes.
And so Mac makes him go to the music store and buy them instruments. So Mac thinks he's going to be Sid Vicious, right? And he wants to name the band Chemical Toilet, and he's got this guitar with flames on it, right? And then Frank's just beating the hell out of drums, has no idea what he's doing. Charlie, though, our man Charlie, he gets keyboards, right?
Yeah.
He can actually play keyboards really, really well.
Charlie's illiterate, but for some reason is a musical savant.
Yes. Yeah, and Charlie's illiteracy keeps coming back into is a character feature, so to speak. Yeah. So he writes the Nightman song, which is what George was saying about when his uncle came into his bedroom at night and and took advantage of him. And then eventually Mac and Frank don't want to be part of this anymore with Charlie's weird song. So Dennis goes along with them because they make it in like this weird David Bowie Ziggy Stardust shit.
Yeah. But basically Dennis and Charlie essentially write the theme for Dayman, which basically is a huge part of the Nightman Cometh.
Some of the songs they come up with too, like in the episode, some of my favorite.
You want to get in the boys' hole? You gotta pay the
troll toll. Yeah, exactly.
To get in.
Yep. I was just about to say that some of the best Frank stuff was musical related, like Frank's Little Beauties, that episode when he wanted to make the song about how they didn't diddle kids, and then Mac was like, "Hey, the quickest way to make people think that you're gonna diddle kids is to tell them and write a song about how you're not gonna diddle the kids."
And then he basically used his mortician friend to do his makeup for him. So he
Yeah,
basically
so he
looks
looks
like
like a
he basically
ghoul.
kind of looks
Yeah,
like a dressed down version of the Penguin from Batman
yeah,
Returns.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
Oh
Oh.
man. Oh no, and one of my favorite too is like they've got this beauty pageant or this little like this kids pageant that's like all girls
Mm-hmm.
except for one.
One
Right.
boy.
And then it's like they're gonna try and like they're talking amongst themselves, like, it's like, oh, Cody, it's like he doesn't want to be here, whatever. And it's like then they see his audition and he kicks ass with Yankee Doodle Dandy, right? And
Yeah.
they're like, okay, this boy really does enjoy theater or enjoy showmanship. And like realizing, that this young lad is a little premature for his time, but enjoys show tunes more than a lad his age typically would, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. And then going even further, it's like, okay, we're like, he's going to be our ringer. We want him to be our guy, and so we're going to help out with updating his song a little bit, and then
Yeah.
turn
Oh
it
yeah.
into the most uncomfortable dance routine you've ever seen a 12-year-old perform.
Yeah. Oh man. It was yeah.
Yeah. That's what's great about the show is that they keep pushing boundaries of good taste, and we can't get away with this on a show. And then Sonny says, "Hold my beer."
Yeah. No,
What I'm
the
looking
episode
forward
where
to.
they go ahead. I'm
Oh
sorry. I'm sorry.
no, please go ahead.
Oh, no, the episode where they go on the Christian cruise.
Yeah. Yes.
And yeah, and that was where Mac really figures out that he's gay. And yeah, and so they can't bring beer on the cruise. So Charlie and Frank smuggle a bunch of beer in and of course get
Mm-hmm.
caught.
Yeah.
Dennis is going to try and seduce someone on the Christian cruise and
Mm-hmm.
pick someone, and that's the scene. Yeah, so she goes below deck during, and there's a storm going on outside, so the ship's being tossed about, right? So there's thunder and the lights are flickering, and Dennis has already explained. He's like, yeah, you get these girls alone, and it's like they just can't say no because they're not going to say no because the
The
implication.
implication.
Yeah, the implication. But it's like, I mean, if they said no, that would be one thing, but they're not going to say no because, the implication.
Yeah.
And so like he's telling the girl this, and then he's like, wait, this is making it seem so much worse with the lights flickering and the thunder. It's making it ominous. And then she just screams and runs away. Like, yeah.
And of course, you end up finding out this girl's 16 years old. He thought she was
Yeah,
way
yeah.
older, and she's like 60. She's a
Yeah, she's
child.
16. Yeah. So he gets thrown in the brig of this Christian cruise. Yeah. Oh man, that was
Yeah, that is the two-parter. The gang goes to hell.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a two-part episode.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that is a very good one. And of course, yeah, when the beer gets smuggled, basically Frank's got the idea of like, well, we're gonna make a mixed drink here, and basically they're gonna because at first when they go to the bar. Go to the
Yeah.
food bar. Charlie sees carafes of orange juice and is going, "Oh, is that vodka and orange juice there?" And Frank basically, "No, it's just orange juice." Charlie's like, "People drink mixer."
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I love. Yeah, people drink mixer, and he's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like the other day I had a soda mixer just by itself, like
Yeah.
just a soda,
Yeah, basically, because the whole thing of the gang, they're constantly drinking throughout the entire day.
Yeah.
And so probably by the end of the day, they're ripped. But it's like this is an everyday occurrence for them. But no, I digress. But yeah, so they decide that since all their beer was confiscated, they're going to mix orange juice with the fuel that runs the ship and drink that. And that's what Charlie and Frank get ripped on later in the episode when they come into the bridge of the ship, cause some damage, and then they get, basically eventually every member of the gang gets thrown in the brig.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Wait. Well, no. One of them didn't. He get, oh, Mac. Yeah, Mac just walked in.
yeah, Mike
Yeah, he
just
didn't get.
walks,
Yeah. Mac just walks in.
but
Another.
he closed the door behind him though.
Yeah. Another one of my favorite episodes is Frank's Pretty Woman.
Oh,
And, yeah, where Frank decides that he's going to marry the crack whore.
Yes.
And, yeah. And she meets her. And, yeah, oh, man.
Oh, that's a great one. But
Yeah, we can't even really describe much of that episode on this show, can we? But
Not very much, but basically Frank makes a proposal and it stuns this woman to death. But
yeah.
and of course I can't remember the name of the actress who plays Roxy, but she's like one of her earliest roles is Sister Act 2. You
Oh
know,
yeah, yeah. You see her in all kinds of stuff.
yeah, she's
Yeah,
been
that's
all kinds of.
yeah.
Yeah,
The cast they've got for guest stars, and It's Always Sunny too. We need to talk about that. Like Roddy
they get
Piper is a
great.
reoccurring character.
Roddy Piper was in 2 friggin' episodes before he passed
Yes.
away.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah.
maniac. Oh,
Yeah.
the maniac. Because we when we talk about great episodes, the gang wrestles for the troops.
Yes.
Please.
Caw.
Birds of war.
Oh.
So basically, the gang are sitting around the bar. Charlie's watching an old Hulk Hogan, wrestling Nikolai Volkov, and Dee's asking questions about it, not knowing exactly what's going on here. So the gang are, describing what's going on, but in great sincerity, because basically, yes, Hulk Hogan has the skin of a hot dog and the hair of a Chinese man. The silken hair. I'm sorry, silken hair
The silken
of the
hair of a
Chinese man.
Chinese man. Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, this inspires the fact that, of course, Dee reveals that she is dating a soldier online who's serving overseas, but apparently is coming home finally. And so she's going to be meeting him for the first time. And the gang decides, well, let's got to celebrate him serving, and we got to celebrate ourselves and celebrate America. And they decide they're going to put on a wrestling show. These are people who don't wrestle. The only thing they know about wrestling is watching it as fans.
Yeah. And then and so they approach Roddy Piper, who's the maniac.
The maniac,
And,
yeah.
Yeah. And now how much does he do it for? $30 and a case of beer?
No, just $30. Yeah, $30 weekdays, $50 weekends.
Yeah.
I've seen that a few times. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, Roddy Piper, man, he's just he's great in there. And he comes back later on as they're trying to get him involved in a reverse funnel system.
The pyramid scheme, yes.
Yeah, the pyramid scheme. Yeah.
Which,
Frank's stuck in playground equipment. He's like, turn it upside down.
I almost wore that shirt because I have the shirt of Frank stuck in the jungle gym. It's like a minimalist shirt.
Yes. Oh,
yes. It was another one of my birthday gifts from the beloved Mrs. Fanatic, along with the Patty's Club shirt you see before you. But yes, she has learned of my great fandom and is accepted. And even her favorite episode is the gang does the Wade Boggs challenge.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's great. Where they try and count how many beer they try and do.
I take the beer, you keep the 30. Yes, drinking 71 beers on a cross-country flight, and then going 3 for 5 the next day playing baseball. So yeah.
And Charlie beats Boggs. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Charlie and Dee both drink 71 beers, but Dee doesn't make it on the baseball field.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Dee looks around the carousel.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. There are so many great episodes. Yeah. The reverse funnel system episode.
The berries they were selling were Invigoron.
Invigoron. Yeah. The Project Badass videos that Mac does. Yeah, I love them. They're just so ridiculously stupid that they're fun, and yeah.
Yeah, and that episode is the Max banging the waitress is the name of that episode.
Oh yeah, Max banging. Yeah. Oh man, that relationship. People who are married to each other. The waitress in the show is married to Charlie Day.
That's right. Yeah, Mary Elizabeth. I can't remember her last name is, but yeah, Mary Elizabeth is her first name. So
has she ever gotten an actual real name, or is she just still the waitress?
She's still the way. Matter of fact, as of 2 seasons ago, when the whole season when half the season they were in Ireland, there's a scene where Dee is stuck in a bog, and the waitress is standing outside the bog, taunting her. It's like, okay, I'll help you out. All you got to do is say my name. And so Dee is literally going through every name in the book, and the waitress is laughing at her at one point. Like, what? It's like, well, you actually said my name a long time ago, but I was just really sitting there enjoying it. And so, so they've never officially revealed the name, but there is a running theory that in the episode where the gang goes to the high school reunion, the 2-part episode, there's someone who attends, or basically someone who was had a name tag that Danny takes, named Nikki Potnick. Later on in the show, we finally see the waitress, and the waitress was complaining, my name tag was taken. It's like I don't even exist here. So there's a big running theory that her name is Nikki Potnick.
Nikki Potnick. Okay.
But like I said, that was like from season that happened in season 6 or 7, I think is when the high school reunion is, going like even into 15 where we're teasing her name. So yeah, like I said, they've never officially said where her name is, but yeah, they always just refer to her as the waitress.
Yeah.
So, Martin, yes, you have to watch
it. Oh,
dude,
yeah, it's one of the most irreverently funny but great comedies ever.
Currently streaming on Hulu, or of course you can purchase the seasons on YouTube as well. But one thing we got to talk about with Sunny are the banned episodes.
Yeah, they took some of the episodes off of streaming services.
5. We are currently up to 5 episodes right now that have been taken off of various seasons.
Dang.
And they all deal with racial content.
Yeah, I know the Lethal Weapon movies.
Yeah, taken off. Basically the Lethal Weapon 5, the Lethal Weapon 6, or I'm sorry, no, Lethal Weapon, 5 and 6 episodes were taken off. Yeah. There's basically Patty's the Patty's Billboard episode where basically Frank's trying to audition models for a billboard that he wants to put up. That is the episode where Dee debuts her Martina Martinez character. Which is basically an obvious mock-up of a Latina woman, but she only just paints the front of her face and wears a wig, but the rest of her skin is obviously white. And then you've got another episode where the gang takes out the trash, where yet again it's Dee being racist, doing another racial character there. There's Patty's Pub Shaping America's Youth, where that's one of the Lethal Weapon episodes where Paul Walter Hauser, who at that point was like in his late teens, early 20s, plays a kid that basically is a juggalo. And then later in the episode, and then later in the episode when he sees Lethal Weapon 5 and he sees Mac in blackface playing Danny Glover's character. And so then he decides he's going to be in blackface later in the show. But the funny part is he only paints this part of his face, so that you see this part is all brown, and then of course he's at probably his heaviest he's been, because he's of course since lost a lot of weight, acting. And so he's got double chins going here, so he just kind of almost looks like a human turd. And then but it's so funny. But
that's right, I do remember that. Yeah.
So basically, any episode that deals with any member of the cast painting themselves in black or brown face for obvious bad reasons. That's the funny thing, is the show gets the irony. We all get the irony. The gang doesn't get it, but they're not supposed to get it.
Yeah. But, it's never positively promoting any of this stuff. It's very, but people are very sensitive to that stuff anymore. You can only find them. I don't even know if you can if you download or if you buy if you buy episodes from Amazon. I don't even know if they're in there anymore. I think you can only get them in the physicals.
Well, some yes, some no. There's some of the physical, or basically all the physical media you can, except season 14's The Hangar. I'll tell you in a sec here. As for buying the episodes online with YouTube, some of the seasons, yes, the banned episodes are included, but you have to buy the entire season to get the banned episodes. Amazon doesn't have any of the banned episodes on there at all. Hulu doesn't have any of the banned episodes on there. Season 14 is the outlier because there are 2 versions on DVD. When it was initially released, season 14, because season 14 includes the D-Day episode, which basically they haven't done every member of the gang yet, but there is a point where every member of the gang has a day that celebrates that person of the gang, where you get to do what they want, whatever they want. You have whatever else. And when you finally get to D-Day, it's a celebration of her and all of her terrible characters. So the rest of the gang essentially are dressing up as like her Irish character, Martina Martinez, her Chinese character, whatever. So it's like the entire episode is a conglomeration of all of these racist caricatures that she's done over the show. Right. So that's the reason why it's banned. So when you got it on DVD, primarily the version on DVD you will find does not include D-Day. You have to find, I think, like there are box sets, or they call this one like the complete season 14 or whatever else. It's marked that way on the fifth. So you really have to be careful on the physical media of buying season 14 because of the fact that there are two different versions that exist on DVD. Yeah. But if you go on YouTube and purchase season 14, D-Day's on there because that's how I got it.
Okay.
I basically, you are learning because I learned the hard way. I bought season 14 on DVD. D-Day was included on there. I researched, found it on YouTube. Had to buy it. So basically, I own season 14 twice, essentially.
Fair, yeah. Yeah, so, see, I've got seasons 1 through, I think I've got 1 through 10 on DVD. And because they're also super weird because only like they maybe put 5 seasons on Blu-ray and then just quit after a while. And any season after a certain point on DVD is super expensive too.
Season 15 has yet to get a physical release.
Oh wow. Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could purchase on Amazon and YouTube, and the complete. None of those episodes have been banned or anything like that.
Right.
Yeah, they've yet to make a physical release for season 15. And of course, season 16 starts July.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
I can't. And of course, the current ongoing season of Abbott Elementary had a crossover episode with It's Always Sunny, which is definitely worth checking out. Even whether if you've never seen Abbott Elementary, which I highly recommend checking out Abbott Elementary, especially if you like Parks and Rec and The Office. It's another workplace comedy with a one-camera kind of shoot sort of thing like that. Interesting, funny characters, but in this case, it's a Philadelphia elementary school. Nonetheless, they had a crossover with It's Always Sunny. The first episode of season 16 is the second half of that crossover from the Sunny perspective.
Okay.
Yeah. But the Abbott Elementary, there's a very key point of Sunny lore that is, shall we say, repaired in that episode. So again, I highly recommend, even if you've never watched a single episode of Abbott Elementary, watching the Sunny crossover is a really good one because it introduces you to it gives you enough introduction to the Abbott Elementary characters. And if you've never watched either show, it gives you a good introduction to both shows, and then calamity ensues over the next 24 minutes. So
okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's like I said, what sold me on Abbott Elementary was the janitor. The janitor on Abbott Elementary is basically Frank.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he's much more of a conspiracy theorist, and he doesn't have the money that Frank has. But nonetheless, very similar characters.
Okay. All right. I'm down.
Yeah, I see. Abbott's great. Yeah, so it's one show I'm starting to get into. And of course, the one thing that trips me out is that if you remember the show back in the mid 2000s, Everybody Hates Chris, that was based on Chris Rock's life.
Yeah,
the kid that played young Chris Rock, he's grown up now and in his 30s, and he's on Abbott Elementary. Like he's one of the teachers. Nice. He's introduced when he's initially introduced. He's introduced as a substitute teacher. Then he ends up becoming a permanent fixture. But yeah, it's like it weirds me out. Like he's all grown up. He's looking like a young man, deep voice and mustache and all that kind of shit. Like, no, you're a little kid hanging out with Terry Crews and oh man, yeah. So, but yeah, so well, that's it. We could probably talk a lot more about this, I'm sure, but we're getting it close to the 2-hour mark already here.
yeah. I got some puppies that need to handle some business.
I am sure, and I got some dinner I should probably eat somewhere along the lines because
yes, you need food too. Yeah,
I had a large lunch in preparation that I knew would have a light dinner because of the lateness of our podcast. But there you go.
Fair.
I'm prepped. Of course, I doubt I'll get much sleep tonight because I would be jazzed up for tomorrow because I love me some free. Like I love me a good busy day in the shop with a whole bunch of people, especially new people, new readers, and kids in the shop. So I'm like Mr. Concierge to comic books here. So I live and love that shit. So I can't wait. Of course, I get to hang out with my Whatnot people for a little bit, and then I get to hang out with you in person later on that night. So hell yeah. So yeah, so it'll be a good.
We're gonna have fun. Yeah.
Yes, we are. And of course, then weekend plans. Michelle and I are going to see Sinners on Sunday, and then
I heard that was really good. Yeah,
I've heard many good things. Also, if you guys don't know, there are actually post-credit scenes on Sinners. It's not a movie that you would expect to have post-credit scenes, but apparently it does. So
okay, cool.
Yeah. And then Monday, I'm definitely going to be seeing Thunderbolts because it's out in theaters now, and I've also heard good things. But of course, I'm a mighty Marvelite, so I will be seeing any Marvel movie in theaters. I don't care what the reviews are.
I was going to say you do like your Marvel movies in the best experience possible.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm the same way. I mean, I've seen all the DC stuff theatrically, except for Blue Beetle. I missed that one. Oh, and the second Shazam movie. But yeah, every other one I saw.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I plan on seeing Superman. I'm gonna be there for Superman. I'm definitely gonna be there for Fantastic Four in July as well. So yeah.
Wow.
Martin says, "You guys just can't go. It just started."
I'm getting sore butt.
No. And V, thank you very much. He says, "Thank you for the podcast,
thank you.
Gurus." Of course, we always love all of our U.S. bound fans and all of our international fans here. So,
thank you all for taking time out to join our gang.
Yes, that's the thing too, especially our international viewers. Like you guys, it's 10 o'clock our time right now. It's probably much later. I know it's much later for V. I'm sure it's much later for Martin down in Mexico. So yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Yeah. So thank you very much. We appreciate it. We love you guys. Definitely, like I said, top of the show, check out my buddy Seth's here. Smokes and Road Beers podcast episode from last night. The link is in the comments there. I put a link in for YouTube and for Facebook. So yeah, definitely check that out, guys, because it's a very important, very good episode. Talk about some hard topics, some man feelings, but stuff that men should talk about and feel comfortable to talk about their feelings and things going on in their life and pain they suffered and whatever else, because these are important topics. So yeah, important episode. You gotta check it out there.
Thank you.
Yeah, very much. Oh, it said yeah. So it's apparently only 8 o'clock.
Oh wow!
Really? It's only 8 o'clock in Mexico. Well, shit, man. Okay, there you go. Oh, and Bradley says he salutes us. We
Thank
salute
you, Bradley.
You,
we appreciate
Thank you very much, sir. Yeah. So yeah, come on and entertain us. Am I here to amuse you? I'm choking on saliva here. Anywho, so thank you guys. We look forward to our next episode of the Fanatic Forum here, where apparently we have about 6 topics we have our choice of covering here.
Right.
Am I really going to force you to talk to your wife? Well, apparently so, yeah. I'm sure she appreciates that. Yeah.
Yeah, she likes your company, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, we like your company at least. So, yeah so. Oh, we must be aboard. I am George Cutis. All right. You guys have yourselves an excellent evening and an excellent weekend. And if you're in the Kentuckiana area, you're celebrating the Kentucky Derby. I hope you pick a winner. Hope you have a great time. I'm avoiding the pastels, the horse racing like the Black Plague. So I will not be enjoying those festivities. I will be more concentrated in Free Comic Book Day and enjoying hanging out time with my bro. So anyway. You all have yourselves a wonderful evening, and we will see you next time on the Fanatic Forum. TTFN.
Later.
My name is Mark Weiss, and I am the founder and president of an organization called Comic Books for Kids. 6 years ago this month, we embarked on a journey of passion and heart. Our goal was to make a difference for children in hospitals and cancer centers. Little could we have ever imagined the response we have now. Starting with just hopes and dreams, we had no money for our mission. We had no product to give to the hospitals, and we had only called a couple hospitals and asked them, if we were to provide you with comic books, would you be interested? And they said yes. So we embarked on a one-year journey to make a difference for these kids. We realized that even though we can't take away the reason these children are in hospitals, we can perhaps, while they are there, let them fly like a superhero, be princes and princesses, and embark on a mystical and magical journey to take them away from where they are in that hospital bed. Today, and thanks to your support, we are thrilled to say that we are now the largest charity in the U.S., supporting well over 200 hospitals in all 50 states for not only comic books, but for other pop culture items like Funko Pops, action figures, coloring books, Spanish bilingual items, backpacks, and more. When we received materials that were inappropriate for the young ones, we started a sister charity called Comic Book for Troops, and overnight, we became the largest charity in the U.S. for these same items to all branches of the military. We want to thank our friends for providing us their support and for allowing us the means to make so many happy with their gracious give to us.